Okay, all right, okay. All right. Yeah, well, see what we're doing is for Rogers House rather than, for the show. Well, they get all goes up anywhere.
That's gotta be a hard. We would be doing, like for them.
Oh, yeah. Because in '87 I was gone there a month and a half. Believe it or not, for a month I stayed at Harvard Castle. Next to
Well, I was thinking, I mean, you could do it in the buildings or office. Yeah.
I forgot to change the tools.
Like 2.5
Yeah.
201, Fred. Yeah, up to Embrum, and you're going to have to wait until 202. All right.
What's that, Paul? You wondering what you're doing here?
Well, Bernie was wondering what he was doing here.
Less, mon ami. I'll give you 202 once
Once he's
Paul
ready.
puts it together.
Okay. Yeah.
You can leave any time, Fred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, he's only just got here.
There we go.
Whoa.
Ellen, you?
Keep on going. One of Paul's magic magnets.
Magic fingers there.
Magnets.
So how are you doing today, Paul?
Pretty good, Chris, and welcome to the Orleans Northfield Railway.
Well, thank you very much. I see you're at the dispatcher's desk here, and we're going to have an operation going on here tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I hear the enthusiasm as the crowd starts to roar it up there.
New York Central line
okay.
that ran from Ottawa through Cornwall to New
Yeah.
York City.
Well, I've seen the remnants of that line sometimes when you're traveling through the country.
Yes, yeah.
To a large extent, you still got the crossings, and I guess they made them into some sort of bike paths and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The roadbed is actually quite visible.
Yes.
If you know whereabouts to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where does it exactly go? If it goes from Ottawa, and how does it travel through the countryside? Is it following a prototype that you're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I basically purchased the right-of-way.
Yeah, so good for you.
Just about every town
Yeah,
on the layout is basically a stop. It used to be a stop on the New York Central. Let's put it
Right.
this way. It was.
and you have it laid out here on your dispatcher's panel. Maybe we can start at one end and go to the other, and you
Sure
can sort of
thing.
show me what you have.
I sort of, had, let's say, rider's license or planner's license, because we're starting in Orleans, which
Okay.
the New York Central never came through here.
Oh, but since you live here, it's probably a good start.
Yeah. And then we go through Walkley. We have a Walkley yard on the layout here. Now, basically, the New York Central didn't go through Walkley, but it was about within a mile of Walkley yard.
Yeah.
And then on to Ramseyville. And,
So we're running north to south out of Ottawa here,
E-
basically.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. And Edwards, believe it or not, it's just a corner now going through Mitch Owens Road,
Yes.
but it was a New York Central stop. And then on to Russell, although I believe back then they called it St. Oms.
All right.
It wasn't quite in Russell. And mind you, there's quite a bit of distance here between Russell and Embrum, but I did what I could with what I had to work with.
Yep.
And from Embrum, the next stop would have been St. Albert, but the station wasn't exactly in St. Albert. It must have been about a mile and a half, 2 miles west of St. Albert. And I've added Castleman on the layout because I had a wooden trestle that I wanted to put on here.
Yep.
And I happened to have an extra piece of real estate that I could sneak Castleman in. So that's about the only anomaly
You're gonna wait for me, I'm not even
of
gonna
the
move
New
it
York
yet.
Central on this layout.
Yep.
And then
And
south
you're,
of,
now you're moving south through the farmlands and
exactly, and we reach Chrysler. And at Chrysler, if I recall, there's still the railroad bridge over the river.
oh,
Yeah, it's,
nice.
and a mural on one of the buildings not far from the bridge. It's quite a nice location to visit.
I was down in Berwick just a couple of weeks ago and visited with Peter Gray there and saw his layout. His property backs right on the old New York Central
Oh,
in
okay.
the small town down there.
Then on to Berwick.
Yeah.
And Finch was quite the active location because the CP goes through there,
Yep.
and New York Central would cross the CP line.
Yeah.
And in model railroading, the old Rideau Valley and Finch in Manotick had Finch on its railroad, on
Yep.
its layout. So we have that represented here with RVNF a train out of Finch. And the only other two locations are Newington and Northfield, which is the southern terminal. So we didn't go quite into Cornwall because I just ran out of space, let's put it this way.
That's okay. So I see that you have a DC system here, and it looks like you've got selector switches for depending on what operator you want to assign
Exactly.
to an area.
We have 6 throttles that
Yeah.
can be used on mainline, and it's a coincidence that we just happen to have 6 blocks.
Yes.
But the numbers on the plates here represent the number on the throttle. So if we'll be running the 201, Fred was anyway, and I guess he's in Embrum now. But 201, he'd be using throttle number 1.
Yes.
And less in a while, we'll be taking train 202 out. So automatically, the 2 represents throttle number 2. So that's the way we operate. We've got throttles, let's see, from 1 through to 6. And if there's a number like, let's see, 310, 307, 309, numbers between, let's say, 7 and 10, those happen to be the return trips.
I see.
So being experienced on the railroad, I don't look for throttle 7 or block 7. I just go back to what the train was numbered when it left.
So in this case, based on this sheet, so you can keep track of things, you've got today's date, you have, or a date, the 4th of February 2015, and Fred currently has train 201. Is that correct? Is that the
That's
way
correct,
it's-
yes.
So you'll be assigning people the trains. Now, the space on the other side, would you put a throttle number in there if you wanted to, or?
Well, I don't really need that because I already know that, the 2 is
It's throttle two.
number 2,
Oh, I
then
gotcha.
605 will be throttle number 5. And this happens to be the evening that was canceled 2 weeks ago
because of the
because of
snowstorm.
freezing rain.
Okay.
Supposedly, we were supposed to have freezing rain. So I'll change that
today is the
to
23rd.
today's date, yes.
Yeah, and so now you have got a schematic diagram here
Absolutely.
that basically that you planned out all the trains that will be transversing the line, where they'll meet, and all that sort of thing.
Exactly, and this represents a 24-hour schedule,
Yes.
a full
You
day.
kept cancelling, weren't you?
Right. So that's quite a bit of planning. How long has the train been in your basement here? How long have you had it going?
I started building this in 1991.
Okay.
And fortunately, that summer was real hot, so I spent more time in the basement than I did elsewhere. So we'll put number 2
Yeah, 202
on the road here.
Okay.
Here, let's.
So you pass them a train sheet as well, by the look of it, there to the actual
Yes,
operator.
yeah, they have a schedule
Yes.
similar to this
Yeah.
with their meeting points.
Excellent. So what's the size of your railroad room here, roughly?
The room is basically 16 feet wide by 30 feet long.
Okay.
And from yard limit, where the train is just going past now,
Yep.
to the yard limit in Northfield, there's approximately 210 feet of main line.
Oh, that's excellent.
Now, mind you, I think all told, we've got about 700 feet of track, but it's counting sidings and so on.
Yeah. That's terrific.
I sort of sacrificed real estate to put more trackage in it. So unfortunately, I don't have too many villages, or I have backs of buildings instead of the full building, full model.
That's okay. I mean, you really built it with operations in mind. You want people to come down and run trains, have some fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Paul's got a few stories he could tell you about some of the curves I've built into this layout.
I guess so. There's Paul. He's kind of in an interesting place, I would say. Eh? He's kind of a...
The yard hole.
What do they call this?
The yard hole.
The yard hole.
Sure.
Yeah, so you've got a 360 degrees of trains around you.
Yeah.
Just so you're like a Christmas tree there. He's not even going to touch that one, I can tell.
And it's an incredibly busy yard, too.
Yeah. So I see that to show for each of your classification tracks there, you've got a little card for the train number.
Yeah, and what it tells me here on this schedule is what's coming in and what I have to make up next.
Okay. Wow, you've got quite a bit of work to do tonight, eh?
Yeah.
And are you on a fast clock here?
Yeah. We do about 24 hours if we can.
Yes.
And I think it's 1 hour and about 10 or 15 minutes. Is it 1 hour and 10 minutes, Paul?
Sorry?
1 hour and 10 minutes?
On your fast clock?
It's actually 7.5 minutes per hour.
Boy, that means you've got to really get things moving. I'm not going to interfere with your thinking patterns, as long if you're happy with that, so you can continue
no problem.
on.
No, I can talk.
Walk and chew gum at the same time, eh?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Not as
okay.
good as Barry, but... So what will be coming in is I just send out 202. 201 will be coming in next.
Yes.
And it probably will have a cut of cars for the train I'm making up now, 414.
Oh, okay.
So it's my next out, but I'll wait as long as I can get those 414 cars out.
Yeah.
Did I get you in time?
So this is, you've got magnetic uncoupling systems here.
Yeah, there's magnets at the end of each yard track,
Yeah.
and there's a couple spread on the arrival and departure track. And you'll see the little orange markings on the ties.
Christopher, wouldn't it?
That's where the ramps are.
Oh, okay.
So what I'll do is, these cars are stored here by train.
Let's have a look
So
at
it's
this.
all broke up. This is my local switching.
Yeah.
And then 202, 414. These are straight through freights. These are all do local switching. 304, 306, 602, 412, and 256 is the interchange with the CP.
Right.
So once I start blocking stuff, then I'll put it in an envelope to say that it's ready to roll.
Excellent.
So 414 is now ready, but with only 4 cars. Normally I expect to have somewhere between 8 and 12 for that.
So then you report to the dispatcher that it's ready to go,
When the train's ready to go.
then he has a schedule and he'll assign it and send it out at that particular time.
Yeah, I know when it's scheduled out of here,
Yeah.
so I'll make sure that when I know it's ready, that I'll hand them the card deck.
Excellent.
Now this is 202, Chris.
Yep. Gotta like it. Everybody seems to have a wraparound train view.
Fred?
Yes, sir.
You can lead.
On the end of that
Say, Bob. Oh, good.
15.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
What's my say, Cash?
Thank God you have no limit. Should be all blocked.
So what are you up to here, Paul?
And the train, take train 605, which is
In the back there.
in the back there.
It's wrong, you have to show me what I'm
Let's
doing.
see, 43 green, red.
Perfect. Yes, Murphy.
All the way to the right.
We were in Walmart yesterday and picked up some how can I be wrong if I'm always right? Goes on like that. So the last line is, Grandma says I'm right, Grandma's never wrong. Yeah.
I have 201 place or whatever you do already.
Yeah, right. So here we are, Bernie. What's the name of this town?
This is Northfield.
Okay.
Northfield. It's a
The end of
small-
the line, is it at the point to point?
It's a point to point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There
so
is-
you're
there is-
building trains down here?
I'm building trains now. The yard's not as big as Orleans.
Right.
But we have a lot more industries to switch,
Yes.
and then behind here is Cornwall.
Oh, okay. So that's the extension off the layout,
So
basically
it's
where
an
things go.
extension,
Yeah.
Yeah. So normally once a night I have to change the Cornwall change with those.
Mm-hmm.
Except what makes it complicated is I need both of these tracks to run around, and then I have to
Yeah.
leave on another track. So they could get quite congested in here and quite hectic.
But fun.
But fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an empty yard now, but 202 just came in with 14 cars.
Yes.
So that means
And then what I'm gonna do is
So are you going to be just breaking that train up now,
I'll
or?
break that train up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a high percentage of them are industries in
And that's what
Cornwall,
I'm gonna
Yes.
which is really going to block up
all
that part.
You're
of
just
the
going to
yard.
have to find another spot for them.
Yeah, we usually manage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to start. Another problem I have is like 201 and 202 just interchange for both yards.
Yes.
I can only send him 12.
Oh, I see. So
But
there's a
he's
limit.
unlimited. He can send me whatever he's got. So,
Get them all over the
so
place.
unfortunately, you know, the 201s will back up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not too bad right now. That it looks like you only have 6 cars for 'em, or 5, eh? Or into
Yeah.
6 cars. Yeah.
Yeah. But once I start changing industries, there's a bunch of 201s in the industries. So
Yeah.
this will build pretty quick.
Excellent. Well, maybe I'll watch you do some stuff for a while here.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm gonna put down there rather than going to pots all over, because first of all, it'd be an expense. And I'll put in the
This
truck.
was always run.
Is that right?
There's some very high-tech switches here. as you can see. But they work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Old screw bulbs. No, when you put the turn, just in push and turn.
Oh.
The old LED, what, 35 foot. Yeah, interesting.
It's kind of nice when you have them on magnets, though.
Yeah, magnets are good, but they can also be a pain too sometimes. They break up your train and
Light that were done.
So it's
Yeah, the
Cornwall.
halogen ones, you know, you can get them two ways. Like they just have the pins on them, or they have a
Union
little
Pacific.
pin with a flat top on it. Those ones with the pins on, those ones with the pins on, I couldn't keep them. They just kept burning up.
Put your toggle center off once you
so
get
it goes to Northfield. And when I say Northfield, that goes to Industries.
I see.
Yeah, they just kept burning out the ones with the little pin. And the other ones, I had them in the, like our stairway going downstairs there.
Yeah.
Never changed them.
Industries.
We were there for 11 years.
Yeah, I know. I know. Things, it's so variable. in what
Yeah.
they do, yeah. Yeah.
PCF, that
Well,
goes
it's
to,
like knock on wood,
Cornwall.
I've never changed
which I now
a
don't
bulb.
have enough room in Cornwall for it, so I have to start.
And it's
You
2000,
know,
we bought it in
inventive here.
2006, 2007. We bought it in 2006. And the only thing I've ever really had to do, like actually, like, you know, oil changes and brakes and that.
I'll throw them in there because the next train out is 303,
Sure.
and
Is that right? Oh, yeah.
I thought you've never driven it at night, so.
CFX.
on Monday it was a
Yeah,
holiday.
yeah.
So finally, Monday, or is it on Tuesday, that Sean came over. He might have boosted
Well,
the
we
car
got
in the
running there
morning.
now.
Oh no, Tuesday evening he came over, boosted the car, and they drove to Bel Air and left it there. And
Okay.
she
Right,
filled out
yeah.
the work order and so on. So the next, on Wednesday, they changed the battery, that's what they did. And the chap told her, he says, make sure that your lights are off. And one of them, the map light and the ceiling light is, if you leave it on automatic, which means like, if she goes by the car, lights will come on, you know, from her sensor and so on.
Oh, okay.
It drains the battery on automatic. So what you have to do is make sure that it's always off. And so they told her that, and the chap told her, the best thing you could do is use the car more often. And so
Yeah.
you shouldn't have
Yeah,
that
oh,
problem.
yeah. Yeah,
But I
that's true.
felt bad because it's a nice car.
I can remember years ago, back in the days of the old Dodge Darts,
Oh yeah.
my buddy's stepmom had a Dodge Dart. It sat in the garage.
Yeah.
It was never driven.
Yeah.
And we go out, sure enough, the battery's dead,
Oh, yeah.
everything's totally
Yeah.
dead. I had to get my alternator done here a few weeks ago. 4.5 hours it takes to change the alternator on that Camry. They have to take the front bumper and everything off the car.
Holy cow.
And I gotta go get, I know I've been putting off, but I gotta get my plugs changed, because it's 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah, if it's like mine, they have to take something off the
Yeah, and
engine
tilt the
block
motor. Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
to the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, they have
spark
to-
plugs on
they
the other
have
side.
to- yeah, they have to remove the motor mount and tilt the motor to get to the back 3 plugs.
Oh,
It
geez.
is differently.
Ah, Christ, yeah. Like that, just to do the alternator, that was
Power's about to go
$800.
on.
With the labor and the
Is this
alternator, it
all?
was $800 and some dollars. My plugs are gonna be like
cow.
$400 and some dollars.
Four, five,
Jesus.
six,
I can remember going down and
And
changing my
these
own
are the ones that
plugs.
came in on
For
201?
$20.
Some of them somewhere over
Yeah,
here.
because there was a bunch
Yeah.
of
Then
414s
Toyota
on
calls me and says,
201.
Yeah.
Les,
you know, you're due for your
The Walkley turn?
Your,
Yeah, okay.
your tune-up. You know, you should get such and such mileage on the car,
right,
so
thank
you
you.
should be due
Got
for
it.
and Paul's
There's
already
another 2 or
there
3.
waiting.
Okay, excuse me, sir.
He's going to take 414
Coming down.
out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and 605 is waiting for him to get into Walkley to continue into Orleans, so you have a little bit of action there at
Okay.
Walkley.
Excellent,
No,
thanks.
okay. Just,
Yeah, so
Seems
yeah,
like
it's,
a
it's
high,
crazy the way that.
So there's the Fox. Nicely done.
yeah.
And if they want a museum, let's build it behind Bernie there.
Yeah, yeah, I thought we were joking at one time.
When we originally got it.
Yeah, it's beautifully painted.
Yeah, but I think we should talk to them and say, help us out. Like, yeah.
Well, we're in Florida for 3.5 weeks.
I know, yeah.
And then both came back sick.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Power away from me here on the right.
Here you go, Bernie.
Yes, I did, sorry.
Okay.
6.
Oh, a lot more than you took out.
Yeah, no kidding, there's 15 of them.
I thought I had pushed it, but
Yeah.
they don't loose.
Okay,
I
there
think
you
you're
go.
gonna have to use
Got
the
no
brake.
way for you.
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing to do, Paul, and I check all the couplers, as I back them up.